Well, hello Divi Nation, and welcome to a brand new Divi use case live stream where each week we show you how to add new design and functionality to your Divi websites. And today we're going to be showing you how to create a category page template for your blog posts using the Divi Theme Builder. And don't forget to check the video description for more info, including a link to the blog post that goes along with this tutorial. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, welcome everyone. Just want to take a moment to say hello and to invite you to share where you're from in the chat and get going on some discussions, asking questions, all that stuff. And hopefully we're going to learn some stuff along the way. If I can't get to your question or I don't know it, hopefully someone in the chat can help out. And if I'm coming in loud and clear for you guys, give me a thumbs up so that I can know for sure that you are hearing me and you can see everything. All right, waiting for that thumbs up. Someone. Looking good so far. Welcome. All right, Teresa, thank you for the thumbs up. Hello from Ireland. I believe it's pronounced Badbaroid. And let's see, Valerio from Italy, Monique from Maryland. Welcome everyone. Grant, thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. You can see my screen here. It's actually going to give you a preview of what we're going to be building today. This is a, pretty basic, but it also has some cool things. This is a category page template. And this category page template will be created to serve as a template for all of your blog posts and that are associated with a certain category. In this example here, we have a business category. And this is using dynamic content on a body area on a template to pull in the current page data, in this case, the category page data, to display all the articles that have the category business. And so this is created in a template using the Divi Theme Builder, and I'll show you how to do that. And once it's done, no matter what category page you view for your blog posts, it will display like this. Of course, it will have different posts according to whatever category it's associated with. But this is kind of the basic design and functionality of a category page template. If you're not familiar with the Divi 4.0 release, the Divi 4.0 release has introduced the Divi Theme Builder, and this is what we're going to be using today. And here's the Divi Theme Builder UI here. And before we get started, just to make sure you know what you need to get started if you're following along. This video will be posted with the blog post and available on our YouTube and Facebook channels later on. If you miss something and you want to come back and view it, feel free to do that. But I do want to make sure that you understand we need blog posts to do this, because you won't be able to see anything on our category pages if you don't have any blog posts associated with a certain category. So that is kind of one thing you would need if you're testing out this template. So you'll need some blog posts, and you'll need some, here's some mock blog posts that I have currently. And you can see that I have assigned them some categories, a lot of them with the business category here. And if I go to my categories, or under posts and then categories here in my WordPress dashboard, I can see all the categories I have for a post. And this is kind of where you can preview to make sure that your template is working correctly. For example, if this is the business category, I can click on view to view that one, which we already saw, but I can also click on coaching to see that one. And as you can see, this hasn't been assigned a template, so I'll have to go and do that. But this is what it will look like whenever you view those category pages eventually. All right, so just a reminder, if you're just joining us, I do want to welcome you to this week's Divi Use Case live stream. Today I'm showing you how to build a category page from scratch using the Divi Theme Builder. So if you're interested in jumping on and learning a bit more about how to use the Divi Theme Builder, now's a good chance. All right. So let me go back to my WordPress dashboard. And I want to go to the theme builder, which I can go by navigating to Divi and then the theme builder. And right now, this is the one that I already built, and I just have it there for reference. But we're going to be creating one from scratch. You'll notice over here is the default website template, which currently has nothing in it. I'm not going to spend time in this use case tutorial building any global headers or global footers. We do have some very helpful and creative posts that went out on our blog and also in our documentation that can help you do that. But today we're really concentrating on the custom body area of the template, which will showcase all of the categories for our current, category page content. So in order for this to work, I'll need to create a new template, so I'll do that. And you'll see the template settings here is basically where I want to assign the template. Or to say it another way, what pages do I want this template to, what page or post do I want to use this template on? Sorry, got a little twisted there in the terms, but what we want to do is select all categories. So these are all my archive pages, and you'll see this one is, if I select this one, this is all category pages. And this is essentially going to be all category pages related to the blog posts on my Divi site. You could also create templates, for example, for your projects, category pages, a specific category page. So there's a lot of options here. We're simply going to concentrate on a very popular use for category pages, and that's for blog posts. So that's why we're going to keep it to all category pages for blog posts here. Click Create Template, and we're already off and running. The next thing we'll need to do is add a custom body to the template by selecting this Add Custom Body area here. And now I want to build it from scratch, so I'm going to select Build Custom Body. All right. This will bring up the template layout editor, which is, first I need to make sure and select how I want to start the build, which is to build from scratch. So I'll select that one. All right, so we have, our Divi Builder within this template layout editor here, where we can, we have a blank slate. We can create anything we want to serve as our body template for our category pages. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with a row. So let's do a single column row here, and let's go ahead and add a text module. So this text module is going to be what I want to use to serve as my post or archive title. And I'm simply going to use dynamic content. And let me blow up this page a little bit so we can see a little bit better. I have to remember to bring that back down, but just so you can see a bit better, this is my text module. I'm going to erase the default content in the body section. I'm going to click this dynamic content icon, and that's going to pull up all of my available dynamic content for this layout. And since I'm creating a category page, really the only one available to me that would really make sense is the post archive title. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. That way it'll display the title of the page without me having to do it manually. So I'm going to click that, and that's going to pull up this little text that says your dynamic post title will display here. This is of course mock content to help you style this content because it's actually going to be pulling the actual category page content whenever you view that page live. This is just mock content to help you style it in the layout. But I'm going to take it another step further here, and I'm going to edit my dynamic content. And this allows you to add items or elements before and after your archive title. And this will allow you to personalize it. For example, this, I know because I'm displaying this category called business, that this title is going to include that category, business. But if I wanted to put something before that dynamic category page title, I could do that here. And this is also a great way to add your H1 tag for your main header for SEO purposes. So for example, I can put this H1 tag in front, and you can see that it changes into an H1 header, which is important. But I can also add a word afterwards, like articles. And this is static content, so this will show up on all category pages. Make sure and put a space before it. All right. And so here you have the dynamic content, which will display the title of the page. And then you have this static content on the right of it. And so whenever we view the example page, let me pull that up quickly. Well, we'll see it in a little bit. I don't want to lose momentum here, but you have this ability to add this static content, which will stay, it will say articles on every page, but this post title will change. All right, so that'll display business articles if I'm on a business category page. I think we get it. All right, after that, we're going to style it a bit. So I'm going to go to my design settings here, and this will style all of the content in that block, dynamic block of content here. So I'm going to set my heading text. It is an H1, so I want to keep it under there. And I'm going to set it to, let's do Ubuntu. All right. And let's make it bold. Let's change the text color a bit. I'm not going to get too crazy because I mainly want you to understand how to make a page template, a category page template. And really the exciting part is that you can now use the Divi Builder design options to style it however you want. All right, so the heading text size, let's make it 48 pixels. And let's change it on tablet. We'll make it 38. Just decrease it by 10 pixels each time. For phone, let's do 28. All right. And let's do a line height of 1.2 ems. Looking good so far. Now let's go ahead and close that out. So let me go make sure and get my, there we go, desktop view. So there's my dynamic title here to display my archive title for my category page. We're going to add another row. Let's do, this will be where we display our blog module. So I'm going to do another single column row. And then this time I'm going to add the blog module. Now the blog module is the key to designing a category page or archive page template. And I'll show you why in a moment. So let's add our blog module. And the reason why this is the module to use is because it has this option under the content area here. Make sure you can see that. To post, it says for content, it says posts for current page. In other words, if I select that, it's going to display all the posts for that current page, whatever it's supposed to be, whatever that content is supposed to be for that page. And in this case, it's going to be posts related to the category or a certain category. So that's definitely that's a necessity to select the post for current page option. That will dynamically display the archive page posts content. All right. All right, please ask questions if you have any. I know I'm going pretty quickly and this is a lot of new stuff. All right, it looks like I'm coming in a little quiet on my stream. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but I'll try to speak a little bit louder. Okay, so where we are currently is we have selected our post for current page, which is necessary. Let's go ahead and change the layout. So using the blog module settings, we can change the number of posts, the post count. In other words, how many we want displayed. I'm going to choose 9 because by default, I'm going to change it. If I go to Design tab here and change the layout to grid instead of full width, it'll give me that 3-column layout on desktop, which that's why I chose for the post count to be 9 because it's a nice even design, symmetrical design. If I put 10, it would like add one underneath here, which doesn't look as nice. So let me go ahead and add a read more button as well under the elements section. So under these elements, just like a blog module that you're used to when building in Divi, there's all these options to show and hide these elements. I'm going to choose to show, where is it? Yeah, the read more button here. All right. All right, let me go ahead and choose not to show the author, just because it kind of gets a little busy with that metadata down there. I want to keep it a little bit more simplified. All right, so we have our layout as grid. Let's go ahead and update a few of the design settings here for our title text. Let's go ahead and match that font that we used here, the Ubuntu, and then make it bold. Let's do that same color for the title. And let's do the same for the meta text. Let's give it the same font. And let's give it a different color though. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and decrease that meta text size just a tad. It's already looking or coming together nicely for a post category page template. Let's go ahead and update the read more button here. That's that one right below the excerpt there. The read more text. Make it bold. There you go. And let's make it underlined. Let's increase the size of it just a tad. And let's go ahead and change the color. Just the line height a little bit, give us some more room. And lastly, I want that pagination text to have a similar design as my other links. Change the font, the pagination. If you're curious, that's the pagination link down here. That's the link to older posts or to the recent posts. All right, that looks good. I'm going to add a little box shadow before we leave this blog module. And I don't like that border that's there by default, so I'm going to take that out. Set that to 0. The grid layout border width set to 0. There's my my shadow there. And let's go ahead and change up the shadow to make it less abrupt. So I'm going to increase that. And let's do spread strength -10 pixels. So my box shadow blur strength is, let's make it 70 pixels. Box shadow spread strength is -10 pixels. It kind of gives a nice depth to the these little archive or blog cards here. All right, I think we're done. I'm going to save that out. And actually, if I wanted to, I could stop here, just because this will function like a category page template would, just to kind of test it out. Let's go in the back end here. Let's go check out my, not get ahead of myself. So I definitely want to make sure and save this out. I don't want to lose my content, so make sure and save it. And then close it out with the X. And then this is very important. I want to click Save Changes on my Divi Theme Builder as well. Before I go in and preview my template. So I'm going to go to my posts categories here. And let's go ahead and look at the category page. So you can see this is an actual live category page, the business category. And you can see that this functions like a category page already, just with that simple installation of the blog module, a little bit of design, and making sure that it's pulling in the current posts. All right. But we can do a little bit more with it. So let's go back to edit our custom body here for our all category pages template. And now we're going to add a post slider, which is also something cool you can add to these category page templates. But before I jump in and do that, let's go ahead and take a moment and welcome everyone who is just joining us. Welcome to this week's Divi Use Case live stream. Today I'm showing you how to create a category page for your blog posts, a category page template for your blog posts using the Divi Theme Builder. So feel free to ask any questions, and I am going to check those questions right now just to make sure I'm not missing any ones. Let's see. So Darren asks, can you add category description? I don't know for sure. It's a good question. I think I remember testing that out, but I don't think so, to answer your question. I don't remember seeing that. I guess I could look to make sure it is not oops. I'm just going to check and see what's available as dynamic content here. So I'm going to just do a text module real quick, and let's pull in that dynamic content here. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, there's something for, a post description, or a product description rather. But I don't see anything for a category page. So to answer your question, I don't think so. But good question. You could, of course, include it, but I don't think it's readily available in the Divi Builder or in this template editor here. How does this affect, Jason asks, how does this affect RSS feed? We rely on some automations that require RSS functionality. Good question. I don't know. If I don't know, didn't test that out, or really know how to comment on that. So hopefully someone here can answer that for you. But that is a good question. Let's see. Do not or Donut. How would you asks, how would you get the top of the second row even? The top of the second row even. Let me go view it on the, so I think I know what you're referring to. This is, okay, so right now you can see this blog content is pulling in this category page is pulling in blog posts, and there are various heights to each one of these cards, and that's because there's various amount of excerpt lengths here. So as you can see, this one is much shorter than this one. Let me go ahead and show you just a little tip here. Go into the blog settings, and you see where it says show excerpt. See, some of these blog posts have a custom, or I should say this option here, use posts excerpts, is set to yes. So in other words, this is pulling from the custom post excerpt box inside of a post. And so if I toggle that off, let me just do that. It's going to pull in the same amount for all of them, because some of them, I guess, have an excerpt, a custom excerpt added, and some of them do not. So if that's the case, it will differ in height if you have this selected. I could also, change this excerpt length here to make them all even. This one is still not even, and that's only because this title here is going into 2 lines as opposed to the others, which is only 1. If you're very much of a stickler for getting it all even, you can go and add some custom CSS to give it or go to the design settings and maybe custom CSS actually in the advanced, and give your wherever it is, it might have to do it in custom CSS, but you give them all the same height basically, or a max height on the back end. But yeah, it's a good question. Hopefully that tip helped you out. How would you get okay, good. Let's see, why don't featured images work well? Danis, let's see, featured images work well. I think I'm gonna have to have you elaborate on how they're not working well and in what circumstance they're not working well. They will not work for a category page template as dynamic content, if that's what you're referring to, because this category page will not be pulling from the dynamic content of a particular post. That's the difference. If we were building a post template or a template for your single blog posts, then you could use the featured image dynamic content to pull in that featured image there, because it's from a specific post content, not a category page. Got it. Looks like my sound is not set to mono or something. It's only coming in one speaker. I apologize for that, and I'll make sure and get that fixed the next time I do a live stream. I apologize. I had a new setup for this go round. All right, so Danis is still commenting about featured images breaking stuff, I guess, and that stinks, and I'm sorry. Hopefully we can get, if it's a bug, we'll get it fixed, or reach out to support, hopefully. And if anyone else is experiencing that, maybe you can chime in on the comments. But all right, let me go on. Sorry, Danis. Wish I could help more. Monique, where did you place the image? I may have missed something. Don't know what image you're referring to. So I'm assuming you're talking about these images on the blog post. So let's go back. This is my template layout editor, and this is actually a blog post module. Now, these actual images are being pulled from actual posts, but they're just being filled here as kind of a mock setup for the template. And these posts will change once we visit the actual category page that has this template assigned to it. So I didn't have to add any images here. That it will automatically happen as soon as you click this post for current page. Hope that answers the question. And Uncle Social does make a good comment that category description would be a good dynamic field for Divi to include in the future. So yes, good suggestion. That would be helpful. It would be, cool to have a little description underneath this dynamic title here that will automatically display without you having to update it manually. Good point. Let's see. Okay, good. Glad I got that answered for you, Monique. Let's go ahead and jump into this template here, and we're going to add another few items just to kind of show you what's possible on a category page template. Before I do that, I did have a comment from Patricia. Would you please also do one to customize the checkout page? There will be a post coming out soon that will address, how to use the post content module, which is what you would do kind of working with your WooCommerce page templates. There's some things you can do to style that content. Specifically the content generated by a shortcode in the WooCommerce pages, but there are some limitations to it. But definitely you can build a template for those WooCommerce pages, but there are some limitations, obviously, or maybe not obviously, I'm telling you there are. All right, so Rumi says, I want to put a headline, news scrolling in the headline. Okay, I want to put a headline, news scrolling. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about like a ticker or something like that, news ticker that goes along the top of the page. Actually do a search on our blog there. I know I did a post on how to do that in Divi. It probably won't be what you're looking for. It's just for simple stuff. But if you're wanting to, incorporate an actual dynamic, news ticker that pulls in actual post content, it's probably something that's going to need a plugin or, a developer to do that for you. It's not really easily done with, Divi at the moment. Okay, good questions, everyone. Let's jump back in. Again, let's do that post slider. Let me add another row here. This time I'm going to add this 1/3. Is that the one I want? Yeah, this one here. It's like a 1/3, 2/3 column layout. And on the left side, I'm going to add a post slider. Now, the reason why we can add a post slider to our category page template is because it also has, just like our blog module, it also has a post for current page option. That's what we want for our category or archive page. This tells it that it's going to pull in the actual post for that current page. All right, so we're going to select that. And let's just keep the count to 4, something not too intense. And then let's change. Let's not show our metadata here. I want to make it nice and clean. So let's go to elements. Excuse me. Where's my elements? And then let's not show the post metadata. And let's go to the design and just update these elements here. Let's go to our title text and let's change the alignment to left. Actually, let's just do it at the text level instead of doing it for each element. So I'm going to go back to my text and change the alignment to left align. That aligns everything here. Left align. So let's go to our title text now. Let's change it to our Ubuntu font. And let's give it a line height of 1.3 ems. Change our button style. Use custom styles for button. And main thing I want to do is just change the color of the background here. And let's get rid of that border. Shrink up the text size. And let's change the border to 0 pixels. All right. All right, that's looking pretty good. It's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and add a matching box shadow that we had for our blog cards down there. So let's do 70 pixels for the blur strength and -10 for the spread strength. All right, save it out. And that takes care of our post slider. And let's go ahead and save it out. And let's save our changes here on the theme builder. And let's view our post on the live site, our category page. And there's our post slider. It is pulling in our 4 most recent blog posts that have the category business. And then right below it, it's pulling in the 9 most recent blog posts that have the category business. And we're going to add, I'm going to show you how to offset those so you're not doubling up on content. But right here on the right column here, I'm going to add another blog module with a full width layout to give us another unique look. And also I'm going to show you some custom CSS we can add to really give it a unique look that's not, as easily done with our default blog module settings. So let's go back to our template here, custom body. And I'm going to add my blog module here to the right column. Again, I wanted to choose post for current page. And this hopefully gives you a little bit of inspiration, showing you that you can use multiple blog modules on a current page template. And I'll show you how to do this, but you can also offset the content so you're not doubling up. You can basically pick up on one blog module where you left off on another. All right. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to delete this one. I apologize. I'm going to speed up the process and actually copy this one that I already currently have here. So I'm just going to use my additional settings menu here. I can also do right click menu, but then I'm going to copy this module, this blog module here, and then I'm going to paste it here. All right. As you can see, it's really big and it's not fitting as I want it to right now, but it will after we do some customizations. Let's go ahead and edit this one. And right now, I definitely want to keep the post for current page. And then I'm going to change this one to 3 post count. I only want 3 of the blog posts are being displayed. Let's change the excerpt length. Let's keep it 120. That's fine. And then for now, I'm going to toggle off show featured image. So I'm going to take that off. And you can see, now I've got, a pretty unique look for my post content. My category post content here. But let's go ahead and get rid of show pagination as well. So I'm going to hide that. But I also want to change the layout. So I'm going to go to the Design tab and change the layout from grid to full width. All right, so that'll give me, a more condensed look, the look I'm looking for there. All right. And I can't remember, there's a certain setting here. You see it has a, let's get rid of that. Let's see, that's where it is. Okay, the box shadow. The box shadow is giving it the impression that it has a white background. It's just simply a box shadow. Sorry, it was confusing me for a moment. So I just got rid of that box shadow. So there you go, nice and clean layout here. And then let's go ahead and check out the results on the live page so far. Save it out and refresh. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I can actually kind of shrink the spacing in between those to kind of make it line up a bit better. And that's what I'm gonna do next. So this is kind of the version without using custom CSS that you can accomplish with the Divi Builder for category page template. And let me, before I go to that more advanced look, I want to show you how to offset this content. So as you can see, this is the most recent, the post slider here is pulling in the most recent 4 blog posts, but by default, it's going to show the most recent. So right when a user visits the page, it's viewing the most recent blog post here. Well, I could toggle through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here in the post slider, but in order to, make sure the visitor doesn't miss out on the 2nd one, I'm just going to start here, and for this blog post module, I'm going to offset it by 1, and that's going to pull in the 2nd one, and then the 3rd, and then the 4th here. So right now we have first one, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then right below, I'm going to save that. And then on this module, we're starting back with the first one again, so we need to set an offset for this blog post, or this blog module. We're going to set it by 4. That way it'll just start with the 5th most recent blog post. So now we have no duplicates here showing on our category page. All right, save that out. Refresh. All right, so there's our most recent, there's our 2nd, there's our 3rd, there's our 4th most recent blog post, and this blog module here is displaying all of our most recent blog posts with the category business, but starts with 5 to offset these 4 on the top. Okay, any questions? Hopefully that was clear. Okay. Let's see. Uncle Social says, I can't get my head around posts for current page, and if there's some documentation for it, then it's well hidden. Google just keeps giving me links to this blog post. Yes. Okay, so that is a good question. As if you're asking, for a real technical explanation as to what's going on in the back end, like in the code and stuff, probably won't be able to help you at this point, but I definitely will take that suggestion and add it to our documentation in the future. The only thing I can say is that if you can, this is how I understand it, which may or may not be correct. I'm pretty sure I got a good understanding of how it's working. The actual content, when if you were to just have a regular WordPress site, right, or a regular Divi site, and you go to a category page in Divi, that content is being generated on the back end on that category page template dynamically, right? So like all things in WordPress, or most things in WordPress on those templates, the PHP templates, is pulling in those category posts dynamically throughout the back end of your site. So, and then it's going to, spew it out onto the category page. Well, what this is doing is saying whatever gets spewed out on that category page, I want this template to use those posts. And so that's what that does. It says, whatever is getting, whatever is already dynamically being spewed out on that page, I want to use that content here on this blog module. Anyway, it's the best I can do right now. So hopefully that helps, but that's a good question. All right, so last thing, here's the last tip for those of you maybe wanting a different, or to add some small, what are they called? Featured images, yes, on the left of each one of these little blog post snippets. I'll show you how to do that. Basically, it involves a little bit of custom CSS, but I thought it'd be cool to show you how it's done. So I'm going to add a CSS class called left blog image. So let's do that. So I'm going to go open this blog module. I'm going to add a custom CSS class, so I can target it with some external CSS called left blog image, and save it out. Then I have two options. I could actually go to the page, the body layout settings, and go to advanced and go to custom CSS and add my custom CSS there. Or I can add it within our actual template here in line, which is what I'm going to do. This also allows you to have it included on the exports and stuff like that. So for now, since it's just one little snippet, I'm just going to add it to a code module right underneath my blog module there. It doesn't matter where you add it on the template. And then I'm going to paste this CSS code and make sure and wrap it with style tags, since I'm putting it in my HTML template. All right. And you can see that once I pasted in that code, it kind of tightened up the spacing a bit here. But it also did something to the positioning of those featured images. And you can visit the blog post that went out today. It's on our blog that goes along with this use case to get the snippet if you want it. And then I'm going to save it out. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to, if you remember, I selected to hide the show featured image. So I'm going to select to show it now with my CSS in place. And there you go. So it looks like I still need to add some spacing there, but for the most part, because, oh, I know what I did. I wanted to hide those. I forgot to do that. The show read more button, I don't like it underneath the image, so I just selected to hide those show read more buttons. And there you go, nice clean layout for you. Let's go ahead and check out what it looks like on the front end here. Very cool. Let's go ahead and I'm going to inspect it here so I can show you what it looks like on mobile. All right, so there's a view for, let's do iPad Pro. So, well, that's not really a good one here. Let's do iPad. All right, so this is what it'll look like on kind of a tablet here, which looks nice. And let's do a phone. Let's do the iPhone 7 or Plus, something like that. So it'll go to a one column nicely, as you might expect it to. All right. Let's check the questions before I shut down today. Joey asked a good question. Hello, is the theme builder free? Depends on what you mean. It's free when you are an Elegant Themes member, so that part's not free. But Once you become an Elegant Themes member, you have access to all our themes, including our main one, which is Divi. And with that, once you have the Divi theme, you have access to the theme builder for free and all of those wonderful layouts, freebies that we have available in the back end. So if you don't, or if you haven't checked it out yet, there's a link in the blog post, in the video description to the product page to check out Divi. So check that out, Joey. So the answer is yes, with a membership. Yes, you have access to the theme builder. You just have to make sure and update it to the latest Divi version, and it should be there ready for you to use. And Uncle Social says, I'm cheating with custom CSS. Look, I am sorry. I sometimes can't help myself. I have to add some custom CSS. And I know a few of you out there do appreciate me taking it to the next level. All right. So yeah, good point though. Restrictions can really drive creativity sometimes. Yes. All right. Let's make sure I'm not missing out on anything from Facebook or YouTube. Looking good, everyone. Looks like I'm ready to wrap it up. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe to our blog, newsletter, our YouTube channel, and of course, like us on Facebook. That way you don't miss out on any future freebies or live streams that are coming your way. In fact, our next one will be Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's the WP Roundup. So you want to check that out. And hopefully we'll be back here next Tuesday with another Divi use case live stream. And thanks again. We look forward to seeing you guys in our next video.